Thank you. Yes, thank you. Vijay, thank you very much to you and your team and for the warm welcome that we get every year coming to India. So thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started. ArcGIS is a comprehensive geospatial platform for building systems and solutions. It's open, it's interoperable, it has many powerful capabilities such as data management, mapping, and of course, analytics. And it's available within your own infrastructure or within the Esri cloud itself. Additional capabilities include field operations, imagery and remote sensing, and comprehensive 3D capabilities, along with real-time analysis. And these capabilities are delivered to you through our foundational products, ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Enterprise, Online, and Location Platform. And ArcGIS powers your entire enterprise. It spatially enables everyone in your organization, from executives to teams working in the field, to knowledge workers and subject matter experts throughout the organizations. And it's not just the people in your organization, but it's also integrating GIS and location into other business IT systems like ERPs and CRMs. It's also about bringing in real-time data from sensors. It could be environmental data. It could be weather data. So it's a combination of developers like you working with your colleagues and your counterparts that deliver GIS in ways that work for all of your users inside your organization and outside. ArcGIS itself is also an enterprise platform, and it allows you to create well-architected systems so that you can deliver location intelligence and ArcGIS throughout your companies. You can leverage many implementation and patterns in different workflows. But regardless of the pattern you choose, ArcGIS is scalable, it's secure, it's reliable, and it's interoperable. And this means that ArcGIS supports your mission-critical business systems as well as applications. ArcGIS also supports individuals and small teams working on projects that provide powerful mapping and analysis. And it also supports large-scale, mission-critical enterprise systems with all of its capabilities and focused experiences or applications. ArcGIS also increasingly is being used as a system of systems that span multiple departments and organizations and leverage the power of distributed GIS through a set of web services. ArcGIS allows individuals and organizations really of all sizes and the communities they engage with to share information, collaborate on joint endeavors. ArcGIS itself has some common system patterns that are geospatial in nature. They're designed to support all of your workflows, and they're not specific to any one industry, and you're looking, or market segment really, and you're looking at some of them here. For example, mobile field operations, both connected as well as disconnected. Or big data analytics, where you bring spatial analysis and spatial tools to where your data resides, so you meet your data where it lives. And finally, another example is self-serve mapping and analysis. So a successful implementation of a GIS system requires a business-focused system, like you're looking at here. And these are systems that you build, and they are implemented from the system patterns that we just saw on the previous slides. They're specific to your industry and tailored to your specific workflows. For example, a forestry company may implement a vegetation management system, or a utility company may implement a network management system, or a land management agency might build a land parcel management system. Again, these are business-focused systems that are specific to you and the work that you do on a daily basis. ArcGIS has evolved to become a geospatial AI platform. I think Vijay did a very good job explaining how AI really affects the work that we at Esri do. We call it a geospatial AI platform because it strongly supports GeoAI, which is advancing the science of GIS, as well as assistants which make your use of ArcGIS even easier, and agents that allow developers like you to build focused solutions that are infused with the power of AI, but also allowing you to provide focused experiences that widen the set of users that can use location intelligence. And in doing this work, we've been creating a very strong, extensible foundation that you're seeing there. And it allows you to train and use your own GeoAI models, as well as allowing you to create your own agents that are powered by ArcGIS that can run either within or outside of the ArcGIS system. AI assistants are AI-powered user experiences, and they are available in pretty much all of the applications or the experiences within ArcGIS. And we provide them to help you streamline your work, to help you to make GIS more approachable or easier, but ultimately helping you be more productive. And as you can see here, there are a variety of different assistants to help you with your daily workflows. There's code generation assistants, there's assistants that help with storytelling or survey creation or even metadata creation. And these are embedded into the existing ArcGIS applications, and they're all powered by natural language and generative AI. Specifically, the Arcade Assistants helps with everyday scripting uses. It allows a power user to create and write scripts very quickly and very easily. It's your helper to generate arcade expressions using simple natural language. So instead of remembering syntax and profiles and functions, you simply tell the assistant what you'd like to do. And this assistant gets enhanced with each release. So you'll see the footprint expanding with not only more and more capabilities, but you'll see the assistant in more and more different applications and experiences, like the field map designer. Also, there's an Arcade Assistant within Experience Builder, Scene Viewer, and the web editor. So probably the best way to experience the Arcade Assistants is through a demonstration, and for that, I'd like to hand it over to Palami.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. Today I will show how we can leverage this new AI Arcade Assistant for calculating the fields directly from the layer. As many of you are already familiar with Arcade, and this new Arcade AI Assistant can be a real productivity booster for them. It is a helpful tool to learn Arcade and discover what's possible. Earlier, we have seen how we used Arcade in symbology, pop-up, and labeling. But now you can use this new AI Arcade Assistant for calculating the fields directly through the layer. So for example, I have the demographic data from the census for the year of 2011 and 2024, along with the growth rate. Let's say I want to calculate a field on this layer to classify the categories like moderate, stable, and rapid. To do so, I can use this new AI Arcade Assistant. And in this window, we can see we have introduced this new Arcade Assistant toolbar. So now I will show how we can use this. Yes. Now I am providing my prompt. Let it generate. Meanwhile, it's generating. With just a prompt, this Arcade Assistant can analyze and it will go through the available resources and the field structures and will figure out what's needed. And also, it will generate the expression for you easily. So once the expression is generated, allow me. As a result, we can see how this assistant has generated the expression nicely. And we can clearly see it has used the classes which I have provided in the prompt. We can see the rapid growth, the slight growth, stable, and following the others based on the growth rate percentage. We can review the results on the table as well. Following, we can see the results on the pop-up as well, which shows the classification as slight growth. Now, let's visualize the results on the map. The legend helps us to visualize quickly, and it will help us to understand which state are under slight growth, which state are under moderate growth, and which are under rapid growth. Now we have introduced a new section for pop-ups as well. We can use this new AI assistant similarly for generating custom pop-ups. Now I will show how to use that. Let's navigate to the pop-up section. And in the pop-up section, you can enter a simple prompt and the AI can generate or create a custom HTML pop-up for you. And you can use that in any of your cases. Now, let me go through the expression for you, which the assistant has generated for us. We can clearly see this tool has used the if function, which clearly shows in the pop-up the colors will be changed based on the classes, and it will return a beautiful table as well. So now I will show how the pop-up looks. We can see how clear the pop-up looks. This is representing the population growth along with the classification, which shows it's in rapid, following the state. So this new Arcade AI assistant not only simplifies the process of calculating the field, generating custom pop-ups, but also helps users to get out of their own data. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Fantastic demonstration. So that's AI in an application or an experience. But at the enterprise level, ArcGIS Geo enables enterprise-wide AI through agents. ArcGIS is integrating broader agent ecosystems while providing trusted geospatial knowledge, tools, and governance. So ArcGIS is open and it's standards-based, and this makes it easy to integrate with some external agentic ecosystems using standards like MCP, or Model Context Protocol, to deliver geospatial knowledge and capabilities through tools. Agentic AI throughout the enterprise isn't about replacing existing enterprise AI platforms, but it is about augmenting them with powerful geospatial capabilities. So agents can reason, not just over text and transactions, but over space, place, location, and context. So AI is driving a lot of our work. However, I would also argue that WebGIS is also driving a great deal of our work. Our technology is built on a modern GIS architecture that we call WebGIS. And it's an incredibly important concept, especially for you as developers. WebGIS provides mapping, analysis, data management, and collaboration through a set of services that you can tap into and bring into your solutions. WebGIS includes web maps and web scenes, and these are the main components that contain all the aspects of the WebGIS information model, including layers and pop-ups, symbology, the styling of features, the aggregation, the features effects, as well as charts. Anything that you can see and interact with is all being powered by WebGIS. So it's web maps and web scenes that contain both content, capabilities, as well as defines your experience as a developer and a user. And it really allows you to do GIS on the web. So I just mentioned that WebGIS includes web maps and web scenes. And it's these documents that provide a common language that engage and interconnect everybody within your organization or even outside of your organization, perhaps to the public. Web maps provide a seamless experience between everyone. So a map gets authored, it gets shared, it can be open on a browser, a mobile device, in many different types of applications, either the applications that come with ArcGIS or the custom applications that you build and deliver. That same web map, the same data, the same behavior flows through the entire geospatial infrastructure that you've built. And so maps and scenes provide this common framework for collaboration and problem solving. And the web map itself, as well as the web scene, contains very powerful capabilities. You're looking at some of them here. Most think of the web map as having or containing or defining advanced visualization and styling. But the web map is so much more than that. So much more powerful than that. It also defines the experience that your users will have. For example, what's going to happen when your user interacts with the map, either by tapping on it or clicking on it? Will they see a pop-up? What information will they see in that pop-up? Web maps can also define an entire editing workflow through smart forms and smart editing. So the web map is an incredibly rich information document that you can use. So WebGIS and the web map are a powerful tool for you as developers. WebGIS actually allows you to write less code. So rather than creating your map in code, which means accessing the services, accessing all of the layers within the service, styling each one of those layers, building the pop-up in code, building that experience in code, you can simply, in literally 2 lines of code, point to a web map, and all this rich information is available to you through the API that you're using. And so when your apps use maps and scenes, the second advantage is that changes can be made, some changes can be made without even writing any code. So no need to rewrite code, recompile, and redeploy. A lot of changes can be made directly within the web map, and those changes are noticed as soon as your users use and refresh that web map next. The web map allows you to leverage your authoritative content and adhere to any existing data permissions that you have. And web maps and web scenes also allow for the seamless flow of data between the applications that you build or the applications that you build and the applications that come with ArcGIS. So the bottom line is WebGIS and specifically web maps will reduce development costs and allow you to get your solutions, your custom capabilities and applications to your users faster. And to show us the power of WebGIS, I'd like to hand it over to Ashita.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. Here on, we are looking at 311 service request data of New York City from an open data source website. For your information, 311 service requests stands for the non-emergency requests in the states, such as noise complaints. I have gone ahead and downloaded New York City 311 helicopter noise complaints data. Along with that, I have then published it as a hosted feature layer, which is being powered by Feature Services, which is a core capability of WebGIS. To specifically focus on New York City 311 helicopters, I have then created a feature layer view, which restricts the data sharing of a layer through various spatial and attribute queries. Apart from this, I have taken another layer, which is flight tracks for Bell helicopters in New York area. This has been taken from Arrowware, and the data is available for us from January 12th, 2026 to February 16th, 2026. The data is very large in size, as it consists of more than 7 lakh flight path segments. For your information here also, multiple flight path segments create one flight path. Now we will be seeing our data onto the map viewer. Here we can see two prominent color symbologies, where the red color symbolizes the noise complaints and the purple color here symbolizes the all flight path type. If we dig in deeper, we can also categorize the noise complaints by type. Here we can see there is multicolor symbology available for us, which stands for noise complaints in the orange color representing for the helicopters which were just flying too low, the black one for the helicopters which were just passing by, and the yellow one for the helicopters which was just hovering. The similar data we can see in the manner of the types of helicopters that were flown on that region. So let's just move on to that. So here also we can see there are multicolor symbologies. So let me just draw your attention towards the blue color symbology here. This represents a flight path. The flight path for Bell 206 Jet Ranger, which is a helicopter type that was flown. This type of helicopter is commonly used in the States for tours, and it's the oldest structural type of helicopter, thus creating a slightly more noise than the model style of helicopters. This similar data can be seen with another capability, which is known as binning capabilities. So binning capabilities is usually used when the data set is large in size. As I already mentioned previously, we were having more than 7 lakh flight path segments. Here, if we particularly focus on this circular path, these are known as bin cells, and the data that is representing here is known as all flight path. Whereas red color is symbolizing the slowest start speed of the helicopters, and the blue color symbology here is representing the highest start speed of the helicopters. Now we will be remapping in another variable to see how our data looks onto the map viewer. For that, I have already gone ahead and chosen my attribute, which is speed. Along with that, picked up a style, which is counts and amounts by color, and the theme that I'm choosing here is above and below. If we particularly focus on this Central Park and Manhattan region, I can see a pattern followed by the helicopters. Also, I can see there are a number of noise complaints here, which means the helicopters were moving to the Upper West region and back, and the red color symbolizing the slow speed indicates that there was a lot more noise complaints. Then we have another kind of capability, somehow we do not see or forget, that is feature display by order. Feature display by order is used to reorder the values. For example, if you wanted to show the largest value on the top, you can reorder by that. So let me just do that. Yes. As we can see that the slowest speed was the smallest feature here. So it is when I reordered it, it came on the above side of the largest value. Now we will be moving ahead, and commonly used visualization tool, which we use it in our day-to-day lives, is visualization through charts. Let's see what kind of charts are available for us for this data. Here we are having two types of charts, flight paths by day and hour and flight paths by month and day. This type of chart is known as new calendar heat type chart, whereas the darkest color is representing the largest number of helicopter incidents and the lightest color here represents the lowest number of helicopter incidents. Similar manner, we are having it for the month of January and February. Now you must be seeing that we are having this data only for the month of Jan and Feb, as I mentioned earlier, that we were having the data from January 12th to February 16th, 2026. So let's see which month has the highest number of flight path incidents. So for that, if I look on my chart and visualize it, I see that for the month of February and the date of 14th of February is having the largest number of flight path incidents. So before focusing and moving on to the flight path incidents for the 14th of February, let's just look at another capability which is known as feature specific effect. So we are having the data, flight path by day as an exploration. We are having some noise complaints here, highlighted with the orange symbology and some paths. So for that, we will be going to the effects section and we will be choosing feature specific. The condition that I am providing here is date of flight is after one particular date. This histogram is very interactive in nature. If we move towards one specific date, we can see the increase and the decrease in the number of flight paths on the map, which suggests that on that particular day, which type of flight has taken its path on that area. Now let's just move on to 14th of February and see the analysis there as well. Okay, so now we will be moving on to the charts for the better visualization purpose. So we can see this was the path taken by the flights on the day of 14th of February with the number of noise complaints issued. And the charts that is feasible to us is we can see unique helicopters flying on that region on that particular day. So there are n number of registrations number here. So we will be focusing on one particular registration number, which is N4846. Now we will be focusing on that flight path of that particular helicopter. For that, let me just go and visualize that particular path. So we can see that N4846 started from Central Park region and moved towards the riverfront here. This is the whole flight path that has been taken by that particular helicopter. We are having another visualization chart here, which is known as line temporal chart. This can be used for continuous data range type, and as we can see, the flight paths are continuous in nature, so we are using that. Thus, once the mapping and the visualization is done, we can share our web map through our low-code and no-code applications, such as dashboards, ArcGIS story maps, experience builder, and instant apps. I've gone ahead and taken instant apps as my representation for my 2D perspective. I am here using chart viewer type template, where the chart and the map are interactive in nature. So if I select anywhere on the map here, it gets represented on the map itself. Thus, this was related with the 2D perspective. Now the question arises, what can we do for the 3D perspective? Can we show this data there? Yes, we can. So let's just move on to the arc scene viewer. Here I've enabled the Z values for my data so that it correctly aligns with the altitude. And then we can see a n number of noise complaints. Along with that, we can see the flight paths over the New York City. The base map that I'm using here is photorealistic base map. And we can use multiple layers and visualization tools in ArcGIS Scene Viewer. Thus, in the past few minutes, I have addressed multiple capabilities that is being used in ArcGIS Map Viewer and WebGIS. Also with this scene viewer, we can create multiple out-of-the-door applications, and also by using ArcGIS Map SDKs for JavaScript, we can create highly interactive focused applications. I would like to conclude that now hopefully you can map, visualize, analyze, and share geographic information. Thank you. Over to you, David.
Ashita, that was an amazing demonstration. So Ashita not only demonstrated the power of cartography and analytics in WebGIS, but she took that map and poured it into a custom application through our instant apps. What we're going to see later today is taking that map simply by its ID and bringing it into a custom application built with our APIs. And you'll see that all of that rich content and capabilities comes along to that application. So we've seen a lot of Arcade. We saw Arcade through the Arcade Assistant. Ashita just showed us some Arcade in building her map. Really, Arcade is everywhere. It's in our foundational products, ArcGIS Pro, Enterprise, Online, Location Platform. It's in our developer tooling, in our JavaScript SDKs, in our native SDKs. And it's in and available in our applications as well. So it's across platform, across ArcGIS scripting language that you can leverage to give your data that look and feel that you're looking for. So we've discussed how ArcGIS allows you to build well-architected systems. You're looking here at the anatomy of a modern GIS system. These systems that you build follow system pillars like being secured, reliable, automated, etc. These systems have a foundation of a robust infrastructure, exposing data and capabilities as a set of services that can be accessed through either no-code, low-code builder technology or APIs and SDKs, and ultimately supporting all of your workflows. I would argue, though, that the most important ingredient in building a modern system is you. It's the people in your organization and you all sitting right here. It's you who implement the strategy, communicate the governments, provide the experience, and plan for the adoption of your system. And without you, this does not come to life. So ArcGIS is well architected because it has a well architected infrastructure like you're looking at here. So from the bottom up, we've got our data tier, which has various information models and data sources and even live feeds. The middle tier is our services tier. It represents capabilities like analysis, mapping, data visualization. At this tier, the portal that you see here is fundamental. It's how you organize everything. It's how you capture your users and how your users relate along with their permission to not only other users, but the data that they can access and use. And sitting on top of all this are applications and experiences. Applications that you build, applications that come with ArcGIS, but also the developer tooling that you use to customize your solutions. Now, with all the work that we've been doing in AI, we add to this architecture diagram. So I'd like to draw your attention to the left side of the diagram where we've got various AI components that fit into it. At the data tier, we've got our AI models. At that services tier, we've got various AI agents. And then at the apps and API tier, we've got agentic mapping applications. Applications that you build, applications that come with the system. So let's focus a little bit on the data tier. ArcGIS works with your data. It's data that is authoritative to you. You can upload and host your data within ArcGIS and make it available to anyone that you choose. So there's support for multi-dimensional data, unstructured data, various pieces of structured data, graph data, as well as full motion video and more. You're looking at some of them here. And because it's your authoritative content, it provides even more insight into the work that you do, the analysis that you do, and adds tremendous value to your GIS. As Vijay mentioned in the opening, ArcGIS includes content. It has a massive amount of data and content, and it's available in the Living Atlas. The Living Atlas has thousands of curated layers and millions of pieces of user-shared content, like base maps, various feature layers, live data feeds. And it's called the Living Atlas because it's just that. It's living, it's changing, it's growing. Items in the Living Atlas come in many different forms. There are layers, maps, apps, tools that you can learn about and discover. So all of the content within the Living Atlas is designed not only to save you time in the data engineering process, but also to instill trust in our platform and encourage you to collaborate across industries with the data that's provided here in the Living Atlas. And to take us through a tour of the Living Atlas of India, I'd like to hand it over to Kamlesh.
Thanks, David. Hello, am I audible? Yeah, so thanks, David. So let's understand that data is critical part of the authoritative applications, dashboards and solutions that you are building, right? So today, many organizations struggle with the fragmented data, right? Data lives in silos and many teams work on many versions of the data. So all of this slows down the entire process. So here the Esri value comes into, like you can understand this with the ArcGIS system. So Living Atlas helps you to get this kind of data that is governed, data that is trusted and ready to use across maps, apps and applications. Okay. So outcome, so the result is simple but powerful. So consistent and reliable insights, faster and more confident decisions, and ultimately the team or you will focus on delivering solutions rather than creating and developing these kind of data sets. So then Living Atlas comes into the picture. This covers the foundational data layers, base maps, imagery, then network data, geocoding solutions, community maps. Living Atlas, many websites and apps are available for developers to use, and then live feeds and many more. So this year we worked on improving the database that we have. So enriched data is available for you, and updates to imagery, elevation and the vector base maps. All the local content that we are developing here is hosted in India only. So the important part is like administrative boundaries, starting from village, then town, then sub-district, district and state. And then new data we also curated from the authoritative sources. So here you can see the data from GSI, like geological maps of India, geomorphological maps of India, then weather related information from IMD, pollution related data from CPCB, NHAI. So these are the recent curation on the Living Atlas that you may find these useful data sets available for you. Over 100 plus pre-trained deep learning models which are hosted here. Then some of the very India specific data set like land use, land cover from Bhuvan, from Sentinel, from Landsat. So these all are hosted here as well. OpenStreetMap layers, so we used to update these layers on 6-month basis. So you get the updated data, and many layers are also very frequently we are updating on quarterly and monthly basis. So you get the seamless data integrated into your systems. 100 plus thematic data layers covering multiple segments like health, education, transportation, agriculture and many more. So let's take a deeper look on the imagery part. So this is the one of the important foundational layer for any kind of application maps that you are having, right? So this year we have updated the data for all the metro areas. So more than 1 lakh square kilometer imagery coverage we have updated for India. So you see like Delhi has 2025 imagery. So these are very recent to few months old imageries are available. This can help you to see what is the changes happening over the period of the time. Similar to that you can see Mumbai also. So November 2025 imagery now is available for you to use, right? In the similar way, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, all these areas we have updated with 2025 imageries. More to it, like these are the recent curation. So you can see like the toll traffic data, right? Vehicle traffic data. This is the need of many customers or the users. They are asking for such kind of data sets. Are these data sets are available on Living Atlas or not? So we have added this data for last 5 years of data is available now at Living Atlas. This can help to many organizations in the way like if they want to do some route planning, they want to understand the emission on a particular corridor, or they want to build some other industrial corridors, or they want to open up the new EV charging stations, kind of. So there are use cases, there are many. So you can also access these data sets for like since 2022. Monthly toll based statistics are available with the vehicle category as well, car, count of the car and vehicle, and then the amount that is collected as a toll collection. So that is also available here. Few more example I will take here, like power plants in India. So where power capacity exists in India, right? I want to understand this. Similar way, like industry ready land parcels. Where are these land parcels? So along with this data, you are having more than hundreds of variables available to it. So that you can take further insights, you can get some useful information from these and ingest in your applications, dashboards and maps. So let's have a quicker look on Indo-ArcGIS Living Atlas. How you can access these data sets, what kind of data sets are there. So the simplest way to access this data, this portal is the Living Atlas, ArcGIS Living Atlas website, from where you will be landed to the home page. This will guide you the latest content and then blogs and other things. So in the browse section, you can also filter the content based on your needs. So like the environment rate category, all the regions. Suppose that I want to filter out the data for India, right? And which are the recently added content. So as I was talking about, so these recently added toll rated data information I have added here, right? Now I just want to understand what is this data actually. So I can click here, I can get the complete insights or the what you can say metadata or the item description information from here. What this data is, from where I can open it, from where I can take the URL to ingest in my dashboard, or the detail of the what we can say data source, from where we are getting this data. So all these data sets that we are curating here is from authoritative data sources only. So now I clicked on this particular data and now you can see that I can visualize this, I can understand this, and we are also providing you some of beautiful what we can say already configured pop-ups. So when you click at it, you can get the complete insight of this particular location, total traffic as well as the vehicle counts as well as the total collection from that particular location. So this is how you can take help of these data sets in your application and ultimate solutions. So there are so many data sets are available here. In adding to that, as I discussed about like deep learning models. So here we also hosted around 100 plus deep learning models, deep learning packages. So you can, what we can say, you can go through these packages based on your needs. What you want to extract some information from the imagery or from the text or from the aerial photos. So these models can help you. You can download these packages in your local system. You can run in ArcGIS Pro, you can run in enterprise system and ingest in your applications as well. Apart from it, like making the most of ArcGIS Living Atlas resources. So this I talked about the data or the content that you can download, but there are many other things also you can are available here. You can use it. So like the Living Atlas apps. So there are many apps. You can download these apps. You can download the complete source code from the GitHub. So link is there. So the applications like Air Quality Aware, or there are some other live feed applications, or the Sentinel Explorer, the Landsat Explorer. So you can download these kind of codes and you can customize it. Second part is very important part, like the base maps. Sometimes what happens, like already we are having around 50 plus base maps available at Living Atlas, but you want something as per your needs, right? You want to change the color and theme, you want to remove the labels, you want to add something extra into it. So we have ArcGIS Vector Tile Style Editor application that is also hosted at Living Atlas. So you can use this application and you can change the look and feel, simplify the map or change the color, something like that. So this application is very useful application. You can create your own base maps. Third thing is that whatever we are releasing here, the big difference between other data provider or other portals is that you have the interactive data layers here. Means you can play with these layers, you can change the symbology, you can change the color, you can put your pop-ups, you can configure the pop-ups and save as your base map as well. So these kind of additional functionalities that you can get from here. Not only this, if you want to utilize this in other applications, suppose that I am taking example of business analyst application here, and the same data set that I am talking about the toll data here. Now you can see how beautifully I can utilize this information. So just I am creating the infographics, I am clicking this toll booth infographics, and once I run it, you see the entire picture is here for this particular location. So complete statistics, the total number of vehicle, amount, and everything. So this is how you can use these data layers for your use. Access methods, as I told about, as I was talking about, like you can access this data from the Living Atlas portal, but there are other ways as well. You can access from directly, you can ingest the URL from here, and then same thing, you can also add this data in your projects. So suppose that you are working in ArcGIS Pro and you want to add all the Living Atlas data layers into your system as per your need. So suppose that I am searching a particular data here, I can directly without leaving the system, like I am working in ArcGIS Pro, so in the same environment I can access this. So suppose that Geology of India, I am looking for this, I am just searching it, and now I am able to add this in my application or in my project. So this is how there are a number of ways that you can access this data. So we can understand that Living Atlas is deeply integrated with all the environments, either you are working at the Pro or the online or in the enterprise. So at the last, we welcome your feedback as well, because there are many users now accessing this data. So I think more than 500,000 users sometimes on a daily basis we are having on this portal. So so thank you so much for using this data, and in case you are finding something that you want to add, or you find missing things, that you can also write on the content at Esri in. We would be happy to correct the data if there are any issues, or to enrich the data, and also if you can add your data, you can share your data with us. We would be happy to publish this data at here on this portal, so that this can be used for wider user base. Many other users can also use the authentic data that you have. Thank you so much. So over to
ArcGIS is continually advancing, both in its capabilities as well as in its enterprise readiness, quality, and performance. And it's advancing in many areas like imagery, 3D, the experiences that you have through the applications, and many other areas like you see here. So I'd like to take just a couple of minutes to explore some areas. In the area of web mapping, we saw some of the new capabilities today through new chart capabilities, but there's other new capabilities that are advancing and evolving as well, like spike maps, like being able to use gradient symbols to symbolize, in this case, water in the lower right of this slide. In addition to all of the charts, there's advancements in display filters as well as improved sketching that now supports true curves. In the area of spatial analysis and data science, this really is the crown jewel of ArcGIS. There are over 70 new tools across feature raster and graph analysis, across spatial statistics and machine learning, across modeling and scripting, across big data analytics. So a lot of work has been done here to provide new and updated tools, a lot of these infused and powered by AI. In the area, we've got support for 3D tiles really across the ArcGIS platform, as well as the Gaussian splat layer. We'll take a look at that layer later today. But there's support for Gaussian splat layer in Pro and our JavaScript SDK really across the technology. We also have a brand new flow renderer. Many of you might have seen the flow renderer in 2D applications. Well, that same renderer now comes to 3D applications. In the area of field operations, we've got field maps, Survey 123, as well as quick capture. AI assistants are coming and have come to these applications as well. AI assistants to help in the creation of surveys, for example. But there's other significant new capabilities as well, like support for geospatial PDFs. Also support for offline utility networks, not only the viewing of, but the editing in field maps. So a lot of good work has gone on here. ArcGIS is open and interoperable. It supports open standards like OGC, W3C, as well as ISO. It has an open architecture which allows you as developers and technologists to integrate with it or bring ArcGIS into your business systems. We support many open source client SDKs that the community uses, including Leaflet, MapLibra, OpenLayers, as well as Cesium. So open source is actually very important to us at Esri. We use open source. We have our open source projects as well, so we contribute to the community. We participate in many open source events all over the globe, but probably the most important thing is that we support your use of open source technology. And without the support for open source technology, but also our Maps SDKs and the developer tooling that comes with ArcGIS, you wouldn't be able to integrate ArcGIS into other systems. So today, ArcGIS is integrated into many other different business systems like Salesforce, Adobe, IBM, Autodesk. You're looking at some of them here. And again, the key pillar that allows for this are the developer APIs and SDKs that allow you to automate ArcGIS, extend it, as well as creating apps. You can automate through various Python APIs, like our Python API or ArcPy. You can extend Pro and Enterprise through their respective SDKs. And you can create applications that run in browsers, that run on mobile devices, that run in desktops, that run in vehicle devices as well. And you can build these applications and customize and extend ArcGIS by accessing a set of comprehensive location services. So far this morning we've discussed the capabilities across the ArcGIS platform. However, as developers and GIS technologists like yourself, you work with these capabilities through a set of products, the foundational products like you're looking at here. So I just wanted to touch upon each one of these 4 foundational products and talk about the extensibility points that you have available to you as developers. First up is ArcGIS Pro. ArcGIS Pro allows you to customize the UI and the configuration by adding tools to ribbons, removing ribbons completely. It also allows you to automate your workflows through ArcGIS Pro, through ArcPy and through the Python API, and allows you to extend or implement custom behavior in Pro. This can be done through Arcade, or it can be done through the Pro SDK. And within the Pro SDK, you can create custom tools, you can create managed configurations where your end users may not even know that they're using Pro, it's so customized. You can also create plug-in data sources for support of all the disparate types of data that you might be working with. In ArcGIS Enterprise, on the front end, you have many options available to you to build applications. Various no-code, low-code tools like dashboards and instant apps, as well as Experience Builder, but also access to many of the Maps SDKs, both web, native, as well as game engine. So that's the front end development and entrances you have into Enterprise. On the back end, you can extend, you can integrate, and you can automate. And you could do this through various technologies that you're looking at here: server object interceptors and extenders, web tools, and web hooks. So you have a lot of options when it comes to customizing ArcGIS Enterprise, and we'll see some of that after the break shortly. With ArcGIS Online, your extensibility is similar. On the front end, you have access to the SDKs as well as the low-code, no-code technology. And on the back end, you can automate with Python as well as leverage webhooks and web tools. With ArcGIS Platform, it provides really a comprehensive set of location services that as developers you can tap into and use in your applications. And really you have a full array of client APIs available to you, from the ones that come with ArcGIS, the Maps SDKs, but also support for various open source client SDKs that I had just mentioned as well. And if you didn't want to use any of those, all of the services are exposed through REST endpoints that you can access and use through REST calls and whatnot. So that gives a good overview of ArcGIS as a geospatial platform.